we look at number 4, the first thing you should do when you're looking at any Latin sentence and you need to translate it, first thing you should do is find your verb. And in Latin, normally the verb comes down here at the end. Oh yeah. So I'm going to put a box around that because that is the fancy thing to do. Anytime you have a prepositional phrase, if you throw it in brackets, you don't need to translate with the rest of the sentence right away. So you can figure out, the main things you need are the subject, right? Your verb and your direct object. Yes, be in awe of the awesome handwriting. Oh, amazing. All right, so when we look at our verb, we read it backwards. So the first thing we see is the S, and the S tells us that the subject is going to be you, right? So you something, in this case, specta means see. So you see what? So this tells us right here that this is accusative, so that's a direct object. So you see temples, right? Law courts and statues. Awesome. You see temples, law courts, and statues. Where does this all happen, right? Our main sentence is you see temples, law courts, and statues. That's the main sentence, right? And then we can go back and put in the prepositional phrase. Where does this all happen? In the forum. So you see temples, law courts. Oh, that's atrocious. And come on, work with me. What are you doing? Come back. There we go. And statues. In the Physorum, right? Boom. So that's a big thing. Next thing, looking at number 5, we'll switch over to a cool color here. How about, I don't know, green? Yeah, because it's awesome. All right, so, and the next one, you again have to look at your verb. So your verb is going to end in nt. Boom. Oh, no, don't need to do that. So put a box around it. So nt, your subject is going to be they. So we need a plural nominative to make this work. Here we've got something we can put in brackets. Our plural nominative, if we go back, okay, this is genitive, and it tells us it's of the gods. Here it's telling us that templa is accusative, and it means temples. And, okay, so this is first declension, nominative, plural, right? So we'll underline that. That is our subject. And so we know it's the poet's praise, right? Poets praise. What do they praise? What do we have in the accusative? Temples. And then you have a genitive. Genitive always has to go with, usually with a noun, occasionally with an adjective. The temple of the gods. The temples of the gods. And where does this all happen? Prepositional phrase. Once again, in the forum. Classy. All right. Whenever you translate, the first thing you should do always is look at your verb, because your verb, right? You've got your verb endings ost, must, tis, and your verb always tells you what the subject is. In this case, it tells us that the subject is you, and here it tells us that the subject is they. Okay. So always look at your verb. It gives you more information. We'll learn verbs give us tense. And the meaning of the verb can tell you whether or not you have a direct object. A verb like see or praise is going to have a direct object, right? They're transitive. They're going to be praising something. You're going to see something. But a verb like arrive, right? You can't arrive anything, right? There's no direct object. So if you see a verb like arrive over here, you don't need to look for an accusative direct object. So step 1, find your verb, right? Step 2, find the subject. Alright, sometimes it's included in the verb. Step 3 is find your direct object, your accusative, if it's there. And then step 4 is, remember we did the bracketing with the prepositional phrases, things like that. So step 4 is put in everything else. So put in your adjectives, put in your prepositional phrases. Everything else. This just got really messy. Whoa. Okay, anyway, I hope this helps.